Lousy internet. So that's why bitrate will suck. Alright, so I started fixing this board of the CD3217, and I forgot to turn on my microphone receiver, so I'm just reballing it now, and then we'll put it on the board and fix some other stuff on the board. So I don't really like doing streams, I'm not gonna lie. I really do not like streaming anymore. But we will go ahead and stream this. So with the CD3217 right here, we're going to go ahead and put balls on this and go. And then I have a major announcement. I'm going to wait until more people get in to announce this, but it may be of use to some people in the US that are interested. So it's probably going to piss some people off too, but I don't care. Because unfortunately, quite a few members in the repair community like to see me do poorly, and I'm not doing poorly. So I'm just cleaning off my CD3217. I'm going to grab the stencil and start from here. So here's our chip. Nice reballed. Well, it's not reballed yet, but it's clean-ish. Not really, but it'll work. Q-tip. Can I put this live stream? If you want. I mean, I don't care. Alright, let's grab a stencil. So it's always tricky to put these on because this weird BGA pattern, but this should be right, like this. So this one announcement that I'm going to make today, it's not about to be the biggest announcement. There's a bigger one coming, I should say, or should I not say? But this one has been something that was kind of in the works since before COVID, and then COVID hit, and it kind of got put on the back burner, but I'm going to be doing a video, a dedicated video to it as well. All right. This chip has to be one of the. This is a pain, honestly, to reball these because the weird footprint. I mean, it's bizarre. It's very bizarre. All right, solder paste. Get my little spreader tool here. Clean this off. Let our hot air heat up here, and I'm going to use some gentle pressure around the chip. Just like that. Beautiful reball. Just have one little stray ball right here. Let's get rid of this one. It's not a big deal. It's too small. Set that over here. Let's grab our board. This is a 2179, 2020. Need to know. Oh, that's why my iron is like set way too low. That ain't gonna work. So history on this board, liquid, no power, 5 volts, 38 milliamps on USB-C. This CD3215 was getting to about 120 degrees with or without this port being plugged in. So normally your chip should only be getting that hot if it's actively using that port, and in this case, no matter where the port was or wherever your charger was, it did the same thing. So typically that means that that chip is shorted, or there's a short around it, but I don't have a board view for this, so probing around there was no short, so that's more suggestive of the IC itself being bad, and that would not surprise me about this. And I have a customer. I will be right back. About that. So this area looks pretty decent. I got all the, doesn't need any further wicking. Let's grab our chip, taking note of the orientation. It's like this. I'm gonna go with 430, 60. Come on. There we go. That looks good, so the board's still too hot. So the only other areas of corrosion were just right here, just the capacitors. Some of the Wi-Fi defense capacitors were corroded. Again, I don't worry about those. Those are useless. I usually on those, it's honestly a waste of time to replace them. This I'm going to say is for microphone or something, so we will swing back around to this after we're done here. But I just want to see if this works now, so plug it in. 5 volts and cycling. No, just my amp meter. These amp meters really suck, and that's 20 volts. So this should be alright now. Let's see, does it actually... Yep. Alright, so this is probably booting. Yep, 45, definitely booting at this point. And then it's going to go down, and then it's going to go back up again. Or it should go back up, I think, unless the CPU throttles. But the CPU heatsink is warm. So as far as I'm concerned, that's fixed. So these Wi-Fi defense capacitors, I'll go ahead and replace the ones on the very edge because those are closest to the ground plane. But like these two right here, it's just 3 and 12 picofarad or petafarad, I don't know. But they're not a concern. So these are more of a liability than a concern to replace. Whoa, I just saw fire right there. Did anybody see that? Did that come out of my hot air wand, or was it... Whoa. It's a liquid damage indicator. Liquid damage indicator was going on fire. So those are off. That's one less thing to worry about. This is like weird corrosion. So if anybody wants to give me a hard time about that in the comments or anything, just read up on capacitance and decoupling capacitors, defense capacitors, and any of that, and then come back and talk instead of just complaining in comments, oh, you left components off the board. Because I know I'll get one of those people. So I'm replacing the ones at the edge because those are most prone to noise. But like the inland ones, this chip has got to go too. The inland ones I really don't care about. They're not gonna. There are so many of those capacitors on the board for Wi-Fi defense. Leaving a couple off are not going to do anything. I was hoping for more people to come in here before I make this announcement, but if more people don't come in here, then you'll just have to wait until the video, which should be released tomorrow. Some very mean person spilled liquid on this MacBook is what happened to it. So I guess I'll do these, it doesn't matter, I'll do the chip first. Is this one gonna go on fire too? You get back there. Where did you go? Yeah, you're good. And these 4 little ones. Christian is here. Yep, CD3215 is still unavailable. I mean 17, not 15, what am I saying? I want to go home. Alright, that's good for those. So at this point, let's work on these. This is all stuff that'll come off in ultrasonic. So this resistor is what I'm concerned about. Again, most of this garbage is going to come off on ultrasonic, but if there's a connector right here, I do not want to screw up this connector. So if I can clean this up with my iron, I would be very happy. But if the end caps of that resistor are damaged, the little film inside is probably destroyed and it's not going to last. So if the end caps are alright, the film will usually be fine. Beautiful, the end cap is fine. It's like Christmas. Alright, that's done. Ultrasonic, and then this board should be done. Let's see if it boots now. In the enclosure, there's a note on this from a repair store. It needs a audio board and a battery, which they have on order, and they'll replace that after it gets back, so I'm not going to worry about that stuff. So if I get Apple logo, I am done here. This battery looks alright. Audio board is definitely corroded, and so I'll leave the audio board unplugged, but I don't know how they would have tested battery. Oh, there's a little corrosion on the battery, but I don't think the battery is bad. So, we'll see. Okay. So, system board. So I'm going to do a video very soon on the M1s. So here's the thing. The M1 is a great processor and benchmarks. It rips at video editing. But when it comes to like heavy tasks, it's not like my ThinkPad with the Ryzen 7 4750U when it comes to like intense tasks is usually much faster, even though it beats it in benchmarks. I mean, the M1 beats it in benchmarks. So like if I'm recording on OBS, now you have to take in mind OBS is not native on M1, but in recording or streaming right now, my CPU usage is at 40%, my processor temperature is at 66. If I'm recording on my ThinkPad, my processor usage is like 10%. Boot, hopefully. Macbook, alive? Dead? Trackpad click? Come on, post. Sad. It's not breathing. There we go. Apple logo. It's breathing. MacBook fixed. I thought MacBook died. That would have been sad. Here's boot. All right, so announcement time while this is booting. So in June, Jessa will be adding MacBook Repair to her course, at least in this particular class in June, and I will be teaching it. So if you want to take a class on MacBook Repair, then that would be for you. So I'll have more details on that probably sometime tomorrow if the video uploads, if I get the video up tomorrow. But yeah, now's your chance. If you want to take a course to learn MacBook Repair, then now's your chance. So just want to get that out there informally, and I'll make a dedicated video later. But this is hanging on an Apple logo for who knows why. It may be because the audio board is not plugged in. I don't know. All right, the battery's actually fine, so let's not worry about that. Let's plug in everything but the audio board. Fan is not spinning on this because it sucks and does not fan spin until the CPU is like hotter than a nuclear reactor. And the homeless guy that screams and tries to break into my stores here. Excuse me for a second. All right. New desk area, new place, or just new room? It's just the camera's moved. It's the same desk I've had since like December. All right, so I plugged in that. I'm not going to plug in the audio IC because I don't want the PMIC to go away. My time zone is California time. Time to rest in peace. Almost guy. No, not rest in peace. I am in California, United States. No, paid streaming doesn't work for that. I will never charge to... Let's see, can we boot into recovery? I just want to make sure the CPU is alive. That's the main thing. So if we can boot into recovery just because the audio board is not connected to these T2 pieces of junk. All right, yeah, we booted into diagnostics. So, well, it's trying to. We'll see. Yep. All right, it's running diagnostics, so we will see. So the CPU is alive at this point. It's probably going to say it passes. even with the audio board unplugged. No, so luckily I have this security system called Deep Sentinel outside the store, and it's actually cameras that are monitored by guards 24/7. So if somebody's acting shady, they can see it right off the bat, and they come on a loudspeaker and tell them to leave, and they have a direct line to the police and everything. It's a very, very good system, so I don't really worry about break-ins or anything. But yeah, you will get people that come at 3 in the morning and tug on the door and try and look inside, and it's part of having a business in California, or really anywhere nowadays. Yep, no issues found. So this passed the diagnostic with the audio board unplugged, and it works. Let's try and boot into Mac OS now. I'm going to plug it back in. So this battery should be all right. It's just what? How did the sound work? That was bizarre. The audio board is not connected. That's a new one. Yeah, definitely crackheads, Teresa. 100%. The one homeless guy that I'm most concerned about, especially with customers, is, well, he's on the other side of the fence, but he just starts screaming at nothing, and there's nothing you could do. I mean, yep, this boots. As you can see, this is in macOS Catalina. It booted. So our job here is done. Ultrasonic, and send this on its way back. I'll check charging and testing, but this is good to go. So no, there's this homeless guy that will scream loudly during the day on the other side of the fence, and it's just, it gets old. I mean, yeah, I feel bad, but at the end of the day, it's when somebody is trying to break into your store, it kind of gets old. You know what I mean? So... but what are you going to do? Cam is here, and Joshua's here. Alright, so this is going to go in the ultrasonic. So we fixed. Caleb is not here today. Caleb is at his house, and there's a fire near his house, so he probably won't be here tomorrow. Hopefully Caleb does not go on fire. Kind of like the MacBook LDO, or the MacBook liquid damage indicator. I am indeed, Cam. Oh, is this that creepy heatsink? No, this is the one that's okay. So one of these, it's the copper one on the 2020 model that has a different heatsink, that it doesn't touch the processor without this stupid thick black paste. This is more like putty, so yeah, be careful with that on the copper ones. Try and reuse this original paste, or get something really, really thick like TG7. Just gonna clean this stuff off. This is almost like a thermal pad, honestly, this black stuff. Bizarre stuff. Anyway, this is going to go in the ultrasonic, so I will be right back, and I'll clean this stuff off on my way over there. No, I am not defecting to iPhones. We're teaching MacBook. No, Apple PowerBook 4 G4 is not worth repairing. By no means is that worth repairing. Stuck on one of those at 5 volts, reballed PMU. Now I have 20 volts and can't find issues. Yes, you do probably need to order a PMU. I've thought about using a thermal pad too. My concern is a thermal pad will not be enough. I need to test it on the 2020 model with TG7. TG7 is a very thick paste. It's less so thermally conductive than MX4, but it is very, very thick, and I kind of like TG7, so if I can get TG7 in a big tube, I may just start using that. I don't know. I mean, it's only gonna be like 2 or 3 Celsius. I've used GC Extreme, I've used MX4, and the differences are very slight. I mean, I have an A1286 here. I need to get a proper BGA rework machine before I start doing this on customers' devices, but once I do so, I need to replace a GPU of a 2012 A1286 in the store. It needs a new GPU. It works, but the GPU uses way too much power and gets to like 110 Celsius. Like, not even joking, 110 Celsius. And that's a problem, obviously, so I need to replace the GPU in that. TG7 is made by Thermaltake, I think. Alright. So here's this other board that I was working on earlier, and had corrosion near one of the CD3217s. It just pulses, that's it. Just pulses on the amp meter, as you can see. So I'm going to get out the FLIR and have a look, because something ain't right here. Nothing much. Let's pull off this. Maybe the connector's all screwed up, because that's bizarre. It should be getting something. And it's the same behavior on both ports. It just cycles. So that makes me think it's something systematic, not just with that. I don't know, Cam. I think it's like $2,100 or something. NVIDIA thinks 110 Celsius is normal for the RAM chips on RTX. Maybe it's okay. No, Arctic Silver is not my friend. I've seen people get it under the CPU and stuff. That stuff is not my friend. No thanks. And people that say it's not conductive. Oh, believe me, when you jam it under your processor, it is conductive. And I don't like it at all. I cringe when I see it on boards. Oh, that's fine. Alright. It's clean. Let's try on the other ports on this side. Does this do the same thing? So then we can know, is it something systemic or is it related to that side? Yes, it is in USA Cam. It is at just this course. In New York. Alright, so we have the same behavior. So now we know there's something. Well, okay. It's either going to be this port. It's either the CD. It's either a systemic issue on the board or this is bad. Let me not get trolled. Let me pull the other side out, because we need to rule this stuff out. Thermal Grizzly is good, but expensive. It's about the same as MX4. GC Extreme. Useless screwdriver. T5. Where's my T5? Come on. Why does this always happen? Where's my T5? You know what probably happened with my T5? Is I probably was doing something. I probably got a phone call or something and brought it with me to another area in the shop. So let's go hunt for my T5 that I use. Where did I bring the T5? Yep, right here. Front of the store. Might as well switch this board while I have a chance. I don't believe Lewis is going to be at that course. Yeah, no please bros. No please broing. You come there to learn if you want to learn, but... what was I doing? So here's our new port. Well, it's a different port from the other side. Tim would teach me for free at his store if I really wanted to. About that. I don't think so. I'd have to charge you something, Cam. You'd have to either fix stuff or I'd have to charge you something. I don't teach anybody for free. Alright, so same symptoms. So, what could be doing this? I don't know. This is weird. 2100. I don't know. I think it's 2100. I don't know. Let me look. I should probably know this. But you wait for the formal announcement tomorrow or whenever I decide to put it up. But let me look. I don't want to say something then have it be wrong. No, 3,000. Yeah. So. Yeah, it'll be $3,000, June 14th through 18th. All right. Which, if you look at that, you would think, well, that's expensive. Well, is it? Not really. Okay, when you look at the costs, you should be able to recoup that in a week, maybe 2 weeks if you're kind of slow fixing MacBook boards. So that's really not that expensive for what it is. All right. Let's fix board. What's PP bus voltage? Does the PP bus voltage pulse? Oops. It does pulse up. All right. Is there a short on PP bus? Because this is some weird nonsense here. No short. It's not that. All right. What is going on? Aha. What are you for? I did not notice that before, but there's a broken capacitor. Then we'll teach for food. No, I won't teach for food. Now, PP bus is there. Pulse is up. Let's see what the hell is wrong with this thing. 820-1700. Right. This is an 820-1700. It's an 821-41. That's just a PP bus cap. That's not what's wrong with it. Maybe it is. No, that wouldn't do it. That wouldn't do it. I'm gonna guess one of our no, that's only 2.2 microfarad. That ain't gonna be it. So I'm gonna guess one of our CD3217s is bad, honestly. But the question is which one. So with one removed, it's a 50-50 chance here. I don't know which one is bad. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be this one because this one is closer to where there was a little bit more corrosion. I mean, they're both kind of lousy. So excuse me for 1 second while I do something off camera to kind of get a hint of which one might be bad. Probably shouldn't have said that. It's a special tester type thing, we'll say. Uses magic to test which CD3217 is bad. I don't know. Holy crap, 28 viewers, that's more than I'm used to. No, so what I'm actually doing here is going to be not Paul, it's not the dual multimeter with swinging needle trick. It's going to be the quadruple multimeter with swinging arrow trick. So I don't know which one is bad. But I'm going to guess this one. And shoot, we need to go 260 because we're right next to a connector and I don't want to melt that, so we will be removing this at 260 degrees just with a long heat soak. This diode looks kind of funny too, but I don't know if that's going to be it. Alright, so the whole purpose of removing one is I'm going to plug it in and see if it does the same thing. We will get, where does one get CD3217s? From donor boards. So if it does the same thing with this one removed, then it's something else. It's going to be the other CD3217 or something else. So I'm using Celsius. Notice that connector stayed intact. It just took longer to heat soak the board there. Let's let it cool. Still too hot. Yeah, if I can't put my finger on it without it burning me, then it's too hot to turn on. Alright, you should be good. So one of these should be totally dead, because obviously the port that's removed is not going to work. So yeah, that's this one. Yep, same thing. Am I getting trolled by a bad amp meter? No, we're not, because it worked on the other machine. Alright, so it was not that. Let's take off the other one now. I kind of think these are good. Like, I do not think these are bad. So let's put this to a side where it's not going to get hurt. The Apple Store does have CD3217s on new MacBooks. So yeah, I mean, either 2 to 4 CD3215s a MacBook. 17, sorry, I think I said. Cam, an iPhone 260 would be fairly easy, I'd imagine. Board has much lower thermal mass. They usually use around 225 to 230 to solder these chips on the factory, so. What is YouTube's real-time captioning? Did I mess something up over here? I don't think so. Unless I washed away corrosion that was completing a connection. That maybe just this. Hard to say. No, that's, I don't know. This cap doesn't look healthy. Wait a second, maybe this. No. Not there. Clock crystal, maybe. The ROM looks fine. These are only mildly corroded. These are probably unrelated to anything important. So my leading contenders here are going to be this clock crystal. Maybe this got damaged somehow. I doubt it, because I used low heat. This chip, this MOSFET might be bad. These caps look alright. Oh, I didn't even see this. Oh, hello. Look at this. What is this? It's all corroded. Didn't even see that. This was probably clean before. So obviously this side's not going to work now with no CD3217s. But maybe on the other ports now we'll get steady 5 volts and we'll know the one we took off was... It's a process of elimination. And same thing. So our issue was not either of those CD3217s. So at this point, I don't know what's wrong. I'm just going to plug it in now and watch my thermal for shorts and see if I see anything. But it's almost getting time for me to go home, honestly. Let's see. Freeze spray. Freeze spray is empty. Just using it as an canned air. It's cool to watch it on the FLIR though. So I'm just watching very carefully to see if anything is getting abnormal, if anything's pulsing. And everything is very much unremarkable. I do not see anything of concern. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to say it's going to be one of two things. One of three things. So, it's either going to be this area right here, which is a definite possibility. We should probably take care of this. It's an ELC 180. I'm glad I just ordered. I was doing a repair earlier, and all my donors have this chip ripped off of it. Luckily, you can get it. So, I'm going to flux and heat this. But this board, I'm probably going to call it right now and go home because it's time for me to go home. So 265, I don't want to float that NAND or anything. Aha, look at that. It was all screwed up underneath. That gets left off. Yeah, look at that. That's not gonna fly. That's all screwed up. So next up, this one. I just want to peek at this. I'm gonna pull it off, then look at it, because the chances of this chip getting hurt is very low. Yeah, that's probably fine. Let it cool, and then we'll go from there and see if removing that Jim is here. How's it going? So, if this clock crystal does not work, it's time for me to head out because I want to go home. I'm tired, and I've been trying to not work as much as I used to. Believe it or not. I know that probably would scare some members of this channel, but I've been overdoing it. I've been burnt out, so I've been trying not to work as much as I used to. I mean, it's not like I'm taking days off or anything. I'm just meaning I'm not staying until like 3 o'clock at night. So let's see if this acts any different. Nope, same symptoms. Alright. No, this is not like a crystal. Crystal would only affect it wouldn't stop it from giving 5 volts. This is like a short. This is like behaving like a short. Probably only when power is applied. You get out of there because you do not look too hot. Everything else looks okay. I mean, this is 84 ohms to ground. So I don't know if that's normal. I'm gonna guess this is something for whatever's under here. That's probably okay. That's the Thunderbolt controller, which is basically like a small CPU. Let's see. What lurks? Intel. You don't. Aha, you have some syrupy, not flux stuff under you. That is not my flux. My flux, maybe it's my flux. I don't know. I don't think that's my flux. That looks like old school 559. This is VS213, which doesn't do that. Alright, let's see if it does anything different with that cap gone. Nope. Wonder if this is like stuck in some like looping state from the T2 or something like that. I don't know. Either way, I'm getting out of here. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next stream or video. Probably not going to be a stream, probably be a video. So that's it for right now, and I will see you next time.